Have you ever wondered what is really happening behind the scenes of your favorite creator platforms? We all love feeling connected to the people we watch and support online, but today we are going to talk about a side of the internet that is a little bit hidden. It is a story about connection, loneliness, and how the business of chatting online has grown into a massive industry. Welcome back to the channel, friends, where we look past the headlines and figure out how the digital world really works today. We are going softly behind the curtain of the creator economy, specifically focusing on something called OnlyFans management agencies, and how the whole system of direct messaging is not always exactly what it seems to be. But before we dive deeply into this fascinating topic, please do me a huge favor and hit that subscribe button right now, leave a comment below, and let me know your thoughts on how the internet has changed the way we connect with each other. Your support means the world to me, and it helps this video reach more people who might find it helpful. Let us rewind a little bit and look at how this all started. When platforms for independent creators first launched, they had a really beautiful promise. The idea was that independent artists, models, and creators could finally cut out the middleman. They could completely avoid the traditional entertainment industry, which was often unfair and exploitative. Instead, they could connect directly with the fans who truly cared about their work. It was supposed to be a massive win for everyone involved. The creators got to keep most of their money and control their own image, and the fans got a chance to actually talk to the people they admired. It felt genuine and personal and really authentic for a lot of people. The internet can be a very lonely place, especially in a world where we spend so much time looking at screens instead of faces. So the idea of paying a monthly subscription fee to support a creator and getting to send them a direct message felt like a great way to feel seen and heard. When a fan sends a message, they honestly believe they are talking directly to that creator. They imagine the creator sitting on their couch, reading the message and typing back a sweet personal response. And in the beginning, for a lot of smaller creators, that is exactly what happened. Many creators would spend hours every single day talking to their fans, learning about their lives, listening to their problems, and sharing little updates about their own day. It was a beautiful exchange of energy that made the internet feel a little bit smaller and a little bit warmer. But here is where things start to get a little bit complicated. When a creator becomes really successful and their channel starts to blow up, they might suddenly have thousands or even tens of thousands of fans subscribing to their page. Imagine waking up every single morning to 5,000 unread text messages on your phone. It would be completely overwhelming and physically impossible for one single person to answer. All of them, creators were getting completely burned out, trying to keep up with the demands of making content and chatting with everyone. They wanted to connect with their fans, but there simply were not enough hours in the day. They had to plan photo shoots, edit videos, manage their social media, and somehow still find time to sleep. The genuine connection they promised started to break down just because they got too popular. The fans would get frustrated that their messages were being ignored. And the creators would feel incredibly guilty that they could not keep up. This huge problem created a massive opportunity for a brand new type of business. Enter the OnlyFans management agencies, or OFMs. For short, these companies started reaching out to stressed out creators with a pitch that sounded like a dream come true. They would say, hey, we know you are completely overwhelmed. Let us handle the business side of things, so you can just focus on being a creator. We will run your social media, we will plan your content, and most importantly, we will take over your direct messages. For a creator who is drowning in work and feeling the pressure of success, this sounds absolutely amazing. It feels like someone is finally throwing them a life raft. But this help comes with a really big price tag. These agencies usually ask for a huge cut of the creator's total earnings. We are talking anywhere from 30% all the way up to 70% of everything they make. Now, let us do some simple friendly math to see what that actually means for the creator. The platform itself already takes 20% of every dollar that comes in. So if an agency takes another 50 or 60%, the actual creator, the person who's putting their face and name out there, might only be taking home 10 or 20 cents out of every single dollar. Their fans pay. The creator takes all the personal risk. They build the brand, and they provide the talent, while the agency takes most of the money running quietly in the background. But how do these agencies actually manage all those thousands of direct messages? This is where the story gets really surprising and a little bit sad. They do not hire a team of fancy public relations people in a high-rise office building. Instead, they run the creator's account like a massive customer service call center in the creator economy. The real money doesn't always come from the monthly subscription fee. In fact, up to 70% of a top creator's income actually comes from the direct messages. It comes from selling extra videos, voice notes, and getting tips through friendly chatting. To make sure they can reply to every single fan 24 hours a day, the agencies hire large teams of remote workers, often in developing countries. These workers are usually called chatters in the industry. And they are the invisible army, making this whole digital system work. Many of these chatters live in places like the Philippines or Latin America, and they are usually paid a very basic wage around $2 to $5 an hour. Sometimes they get a small bonus. If they sell a lot of extra videos, these are not marketing experts. These are just regular hard-working people trying to pay their rent and support their families. Let us talk a little bit more about the people doing the typing. Imagine what it is like to be a chatter working the night shift. You sit down at your computer, and for the next 8 hours you have to be bubbly, flirty, and totally invested in the lives of hundreds of strangers. You are doing intense emotional labor for people you will never actually meet. You have to listen to their bad days, their complaints, and their deepest secrets, and you have to respond perfectly every single time. It is incredibly exhausting. Work because pretending to be someone else takes a huge toll on your mind. These workers have to memorize multiple different personalities. One minute, they are a fitness model from California, and the next minute, they are a goth gamer from London. They have to remember the storylines they created for each fan. Did they say they were going to the beach yesterday, or did they say they were staying in to watch a movie? If they make a mistake, the illusion is broken, and the fan might get upset and cancel their subscription. So the pressure is always on to be completely perfect and completely believable. When a fan sends a heartfelt message to their favorite creator, it is usually one of these remote chatters sitting in a busy office or their living room who is reading it. They might be managing 5 or 10 different creators at the exact same time, jumping between different personalities on different computer screens. And they are not just guessing what to say. The agencies give them highly detailed scripts and guidelines to follow. They teach the chatters exactly how the creator talks, what kind of slang they use, and what their personality is like. The chatter has access to huge folders full of pre-recorded videos and photos. So when they send a picture and say, they just woke up and are thinking about the fan, it is actually a photo that was taken months ago during a planned photo shoot. The chatters are trained to be incredibly empathetic and friendly. Their job is to figure out exactly what the fan needs to hear in that moment. If a fan is having a bad day, the chatter will be comforting and sweet. They act like a supportive virtual friend because that builds a strong emotional connection. And what about the fans who are on the other side of the screen? We live in a world where people are more connected by technology than ever before, but studies constantly show that we are actually experiencing a massive epidemic of loneliness. People move to big cities for work, they live alone, and they find it really hard to make new friends. When you come home to an empty apartment, it is really comforting to get a notification on your phone from someone who seems to care about you. The agencies know this, and they build their entire business model around that feeling of isolation. They are not just selling photos or videos. They are selling the feeling of being loved and being important. That is a very powerful thing to sell, and it makes people very vulnerable to spending more money than they should. They might skip buying groceries just so they can send a tip and get a special voice note that says, "Good night, it is heartbreaking." When you realize that the sweet voice note was recorded months ago and sent by a worker in another country who just pressed a button. The ultimate goal of the agency is always to make money, so the chatters are also highly trained on how to gently ask for tips or how to naturally suggest that the fan unlock a special paid video. It is a very organized psychological system designed to make as much money as possible while keeping the fan happy. They know exactly when to send a message and exactly what to say to make the fan feel special, and it works incredibly well because humans are wired to crave connection and affection. We also need to think about how this affects the creators themselves. At first, it sounds great to hand over all the stressful messaging to an agency, but eventually many creators realize they have completely lost touch with their own community. They do not know who their fans are anymore. The agency is speaking in their voice, and sometimes they might say things the creator would never actually say. The creator becomes just a face on a screen, while a corporation runs their identity. They become a brand mascot for their own life. If they ever try to leave the agency, they might find out that the agency owns their accounts or their fan lists. They get trapped in these contracts because they have become completely dependent on the agency to keep the money flowing. It is a modern form of the golden handcuffs, where the success feels great, but the freedom is completely gone. This whole situation is really tricky because everyone is just doing what they have to do. The creators are just trying to handle their fame without completely burning out. The chatters are just working hard at their jobs to feed their families and survive, and the fans are just looking for a little bit of human connection in an incredibly lonely world. But the result is that the beautiful authenticity we all crave on the internet has been turned into a factory assembly line. The genuine spark of human interaction has been packaged and sold. This entire system shows us how clever and how ruthless the digital economy can be. It takes our deepest human needs and turns them into data points and sales targets. Every click, every message, Every tip is tracked and analyzed to figure out how to make the next interaction even more profitable. It is a masterpiece of modern business, but it is built on a foundation of completely fake feelings. When you think you are sharing a real, intimate moment with someone you admire, you are often just participating in a carefully planned business transaction. The fans spend their hard-earned money believing they are helping out an independent artist. They think they are supporting someone's dreams, but a lot of that money is actually going to the management agency that is running the script. It is a big digital illusion that works perfectly because no one really wants to break the spell. The fan wants to believe the creator likes them, the creator wants the fan to keep paying. This brings up some really big questions about the future of the internet and how we connect with each other as human beings when an online relationship becomes really profitable. It seems like businesses will always step in to try and make it more efficient. They take something that was supposed to be real and messy and human, and they turn it into a streamlined process. The fans end up feeling connected to a person who isn't really there. The chatters work long, exhausting hours pretending to be someone else entirely, and the creators give up a huge portion of their income and their personal voice to keep the machine running. It is so important to understand how these modern digital systems work. Because when we know exactly where our money is going and who we are really talking to, we can make much better choices about how we spend our time and our resources online. The internet is a wonderful place that can bring us together and teach us new things, but we have to be incredibly mindful of the comforting illusions that businesses create to make a profit. True human connection is something that absolutely cannot be mass-produced in a digital factory. It takes real time, real emotional effort, and real honesty. And while these platforms can be fun and entertaining in small doses, we should never forget that at the end of the day, it is often just a highly optimized business. The more we learn about the hidden math working behind the screen, the more we can protect our own hearts and our own wallets from being taken advantage of. We all deserve real connections that aren't driven by a corporate profit margin. If you found this friendly breakdown of the creator economy helpful, and if it gave you a better understanding of how these agencies work behind the scenes, please do me a massive favor and hit that like button. Right now, it really helps the channel grow and lets the algorithm know that these honest conversations matter. Share this video with a friend or family member who might find it interesting and help spread the word about how the internet really works. We are going to keep looking into the fascinating stories behind money and technology, and I cannot wait to share the next chapter with you. There's always more to learn and more to uncover in this digital age. Until next time, remember to take care of yourselves and take care of each other. Stay curious, ask questions, and always value the real authentic connections in your offline life. Spend time with the people who love you for you without any scripts or subscriptions. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.